Welcome. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you why you don't play an instrument. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you here. The number of people I've heard who say the words like, oh, I want to play an instrument, or I want to learn an instrument, and they never actually do anything about it. So I wonder, why is that? People wonder, like, why don't we take action on playing an instrument? And I'm going to be breaking down that into 3 different categories today, and we're going to be talking about how to get over these categories eventually. 1, we don't have the time. That's the first excuse we give. We say that, oh, I don't have enough time, I'm focusing on other endeavors in life, and I can't really focus time on the instrument. 2, we think that it is too challenging, it's too complicated, and that we cannot really get it. 3 is that we don't really understand what we're doing, the value of what we're doing. Here it's tied in with the money. So people think that, okay, I'm doing other things that make money for me, so how can music get me to the point where I'm making the same amount of money? But then we misunderstand the concept, because the whole idea of musical kinetics is music in motion, right? Because you can't say music is separate from life. Music and life, they intertwine. Music is life, and a musician's life is not just a musician, because a musician is not a person without being a person, and hence the musician has other things that come together to make them complete. Does it make any sense what I'm saying? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that a musician is not defined by his music, but a musician plays music and has the rest of his life. So you can combine multiple things together. You can be the entrepreneur, you can be the banker, you can be the engineer, you can be the doctor, and still play music. I have a lot of friends who do both, who do multiple jobs and I still play the piano. I have many great people at church who still play instruments and have their own jobs, their own side hustles. So let's get rid of the excuses, let's get rid of all the pretense, and let's get right to the heart of the matter. The reason that you don't play an instrument is because you feel that it is too hard, or you feel that you won't succeed. And when we get to that, when we get that out of the way, we start getting away with the pretenses that say, oh, the way that I was taught wasn't gonna help me, so I switched teachers, I stopped learning at all, or yes, I will learn next year. And this is where we make so many resolutions. And in 2021, I'm gonna learn how to play the saxophone, I'm gonna learn how to play the piano, I'm gonna learn how to sing, I'm gonna learn how to play the guitar. That's the most common one I've heard so far. And we never actually do it, not because these instruments are not accessible to us, but because we really haven't gotten the point, the picture yet. Another thing I'll talk about in another video is accessibility, how you get access to these instruments if you do not have the money to purchase one, if you don't have anywhere with these instruments. There's a very fine technique I'm going to talk about in another episode where you can actually practice and get all the things you need without actually having an instrument with you. That's the next time. So let's solve this first problem about music. And let me start by giving you an illustration. Close your eyes and follow me. Imagine you're on a journey, imagine you're on a road, and imagine that you hear the sounds of the violin, you hear the sounds of rushing waters, you hear the sounds of the waves, you hear the sound of the wind, all in the background. A whole synergy of sounds, synchrony, like the greatest orchestra you've ever heard in your life. And imagine if all of that is coming together under the beautiful skyline of blue skies, purple streaks all over, lightning striking in, and imagine you're by the seashores with the waves pounding on the edge of the shore. Now, that visual you have is a visual of life. Every aspect comes together. Music teaches you discipline. Music teaches you patterns. Music teaches you organization. I can tell you personally that I have seen the greatest amount of communication between musicians without actually saying a single word. So by learning music, you learn how to communicate. And when you go back to that picture you had in your mind, all that has to do here is a picture of synergy. It's a picture of intertwining parts. This intertwines. And believe me, your job as a salesperson, your job as owning your own business or owning your own shop or working in a construction firm has actually prepared you for the time to learn music. Because what we're going to work on, hopefully, is to teach you how to use the things you already know to learn the things you don't know. To make it relatable, start with where you already are and go on to things that you want to be. So I'm going to make this short, and this will just tell you why you don't play an instrument. Are there more reasons you don't play an instrument? If you stuck around this much, hey, good, kudos to you. Are there more reasons you don't really play an instrument? In the links down below. And for those my people who actually do play instruments and actually really good, so can you drop in the description below? And it's not really a culture to write too much in the comments, but I plead with you, write something out. Just say, hey, I play this instrument because of this. My reason was because when I was young, I had an interest for instruments, and my mom always encouraged me to play. And I played the recorder, and I had a teacher, a really good teacher, and I learned to play the saxophone. I had teachers on the piano, I had teachers on the guitar, and eventually I found something that fit me, the saxophone. But it doesn't stop there. It grows, it expands. So, welcome to Musical Kinetics. This is the kind of content you expect to see. Me being real, teaching you different content, talking about sound design, talking about instrumental plays. We're gonna actually have some covers. This is Christmas, so watch out for those, and thank you, and see you next time.